There are already too many AI IDEs: Cursor, Claude Code, Windsurf, Zed. A new one launches every week. So naturally, I had to build another one. 7 days ago, this project did not exist. Today, it's an open source AI IDE. And the reason that happened starts with a random conversation with friends that turned into an obsession with how the brain retrieves memories and somehow ended with an architecture that cut context usage by 75% on real code basis. And yes, that's about as ridiculous as it sounds. It wasn't one dramatic failure. No agent deleted my code base, no AI accidentally took down production. It was just the same frustration showing up over and over again. The larger a code base got, the less I trusted the answers. The model would read way too much, edit things I never asked it to touch, miss the one file that actually mattered. And every time the solution seemed to be the same: more context, bigger windows, more files, more tokens. Just keep feeding it information and cross your fingers that it would work. And I could not stop thinking, is this actually the right direction? Because that's not how understanding works. If someone asks where you parked your car 3 weeks ago, your brain doesn't replay every memory you ever had. It retrieves exactly what's relevant, nothing else. Yet, AI coding tools seem to be doing the exact opposite. And eventually, the question stopped being, why is the model making mistakes, and became, why are we trying to solve understanding by drowning it in more information? The answer did not come from coding. I was hanging out with my friends, and one of them said, "Hey, remember that thing I shared with you a few weeks ago?" And for some reason, that sentence got stuck in my head. Because how did he do that? He did not replay every conversation we ever had. He did not search through every memory in his brain. His brain somehow figured out exactly what mattered and pulled it back. That thought completely hijacked my day, which was unfortunate because I was supposed to be doing literally something else. I started reading about memory systems, the associative recalls, retrieval mechanisms, and one tab became five, five became 20. And at some point, I stopped researching memory and started researching why I couldn't stop researching memory. Wait, what? Anyway, every tab made the same thing more obvious. Human memory retrieves what matters, AI systems retrieve everything and hope that the answer is somewhere inside it. But by the end of the day, I had an idea that wouldn't leave me alone. Eventually, I gave it a very fancy name: the modality retrieval architecture. Early testing on real code bases was actually kind of annoying because I was fully prepared for the idea to fail. Instead, I got this: 29,000 tokens down to roughly 7,000, similar outputs, and about 75% less context. Those numbers were hard to ignore. But then I ran into a different problem. Every existing IDE already had someone else's assumptions baked into it. Every experiment had to fit inside someone else's product decisions. So I did what any rational person would do. I forked VS Code. That project is Origin. Open source, forked from VS Code, bring your own key, and it runs locally. And I want to be clear, Origin does not exist because Cursor is bad. Cursor is genuinely a great product and I have used it. Origin exists because I wanted to have complete ownership over the experimentation part. If I want to test a new retrieval system, a new memory layer, a completely different idea about how AI and code should interact, I can. Today, no roadmap, no approval. I can do anything that I want with no feature request that disappears into a backlog. It's not about competing with existing IDEs. It's about having a place to explore ideas they were never designed to explore. So, yeah, 7 days, no months of planning, no roadmap, no strategy. I got an idea, became obsessed with it, and started building. Some days felt incredibly productive. Other days, I spent hours on things users will never notice. I also broke VS Code source control visualization, which is kind of impressive when you remember VS Code has thousands of engineers behind it, and I was one sleep deprived developer. In hindsight, that probably should have been a warning sign. Anyway, I built features and removed them. There were moments where staying on Cursor would have been significantly a much better decision. But every time I thought about stopping, I still wanted to know where the idea went. And that's probably the biggest thing I have learned. You don't really understand why the tools make the decisions they do until you're making the decisions for yourself. Every bad call taught me something. Every broken thing that came up taught me why the working version existed in the first place. And Origin is 7 days old and it shows. But the ideas it is being built to explore are just getting started. The question that started all of this, why AI tools keep losing context, that is the next video. Why more context isn't the answer, how memory actually retrieves what matters, and the specific architecture I built around that idea. That is up next.